It seems like every day a new price height is being broken in the Pokemon world. And now we even have a bigger problem regarding the whole printing of Pokemon cards and PSA stopping grading, and I'll go over that in just a moment. However, seeing recent price trends and spikes, it is getting a little bit intense because we do have multiple things happening at once. Number one, we have a huge influx of demand. That's no joke. Everyone knows how many new people and collectors have entered just in 2026 alone, and it doesn't really seem to be slowing down either at this point. In fact, it's just increasing. So obviously with something like Pokemon cards, having the hobby grow at a normal rate is like that's just standard. But the problem we have right now is that it's growing exponentially, and it's just getting hard to keep up. Now, number two is that Pokemon cards are being printed in massive numbers. For the last few years, they've consistently printed around 10 to 11 billion cards annually, but demand is continuing to accelerate past that amount. But number three is that we now have PSA which have paused their value tiered grading options. So the TLDR here is that PSA currently has an insane backlog, and to meet the demand, all their value tier grading options have been paused. As of right now, the cheapest option to grade with PSA is regular pricing, which is $79.99 USD per card. So obviously we don't have one problem, we have three things happening at once. And of course, the market is really feeling this, but I just want to show you just how big and insane some of the movements for some cards are. All right, let's get into it. Bubble Mew, which is pretty much like the Generation 9 Moonbreon. This card has done wonders for the hobby in terms of popularity, in terms of how iconic it's become, in terms of how many people love it. It's been a really interesting card, to be honest, but we can see right now, the Bubble Mew is selling for 970 US. That is insane. In the last 3 months, if we just go 3 months back, it was selling for 645 US. It's an expensive card. There's no joke about it. What's really interesting, if I do pull that into the year chart, you can see all the way back there last year, selling for just under $300. This card has had enormous growth, and at some points, a lot of people would have, to be honest, I didn't think it would keep growing. I thought, given the fact that I thought Pokemon cards were reaching a point in their time period where it's like, nah, we're at a limit. But you can see it did go up all the way to 700, and then it dropped down to 461, and now it has even gone past that previous high. So you can see how Pokemon cards behave in the market. They are just always having this weird thing where they break previous price records. The craziest thing right now is we're in this new Ascended Heroes era where cards are just like, you'll see in a second what the Pikachu's selling for. And I'm just thinking, does that mean that previous cards, they just have to play catch up and meet those price demands? Like, how does it work right now? It is so crazy to see it. Now, moving on to the PSA 10 of the Bubble Mew. This one has really gone up. We can see was selling in February this year for $1,855. Super expensive, but now, right now, it's selling for $3,750. The PSA 10 Bubble Mew has gone to a huge price point right now. That's crazy, man. Like, I never thought that Bubble Mew would really get to this point so quickly as well. I guess now, like, when you look at it, yes, the artwork's incredible. Yes, it's a great card. But if we look last year, like, there you go, $809. So in terms of this whole investing in collectibles or purchasing these chase cards, yeah, man, like they do grow. And you can see the reason why so many people are now jumping into the hobby, because this whole thing, like in early 2022 and 2023, when you spoke about investing in collectibles, you would get different looks than today. Today, it's like people, there's been so many years of proof and years of it continuing to grow past what a lot of people even thought was possible, that now everyone's just a little bit interested now. Now everyone's like taking a peek in and saying, wait, what is going on with this hobby? Wait, Pokemon cards, I want to learn about it. They start learning about it, they get hooked, and now it's become just a part of like pop culture. A lot of people are just involved in it at the moment. Now, moving on to the Drowzee illustration rare, illustrated by Komiya, and of course, this is a very, very unique artwork, and I'm just gonna put this in the last 3 months so we can see the price journey. Was selling for 38 US, and now it is selling for $68. Okay, so I'm just gonna look at this card. There seems to be something that people are saying, I don't know, some Carnival McDonald's Labubu thing happening with this card. It's pretty cool that a lot of people have noticed that. I don't know, I think it's just a trend happening right now. But yeah, selling for $68. This card is incredibly hard to get as a PSA 10. I have sent this one to get graded. I was one of those bananas that as soon as PSA said, hey, we're pausing submissions, I was like, oh, quick, I gotta just submit all these cards that I had. And I just had a Drowzee and I was like, yeah, why not? I'm gonna send it in. honestly, no joke, I do think it looks pretty good. But I will see when my return comes, whether it's later this year or early 2027. Who knows with the backlog. Very interested to see what that's going to get graded. And I've actually got some really awesome news because I'll be going live on another Whatnot stream on June 17th at 5 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and I'll be giving away packs of Mega Evolution in perfect order throughout the stream. Today's video is sponsored by Whatnot. If you've never used Whatnot before, it's a community-focused live shopping platform where people all across the world can actually come together and do live shopping, whether you want to buy Pokemon cards or sell them or just connect with others who share the same passion for the hobby. Now, I've been streaming on Whatnot for quite a while now, and I've pulled some absolutely massive chase cards, which is always hype. Though the biggest reason I keep coming back is the community focus. Honestly, I feel joining my streams is a super chill and easy way to experience the platform. And if it is your first time, I actually do have a $15 credit for you. You can scan the QR code appearing on screen right now, or you can just head to the link in the description. I can't wait to see you on the 17th of June for my upcoming stream. A huge thanks to Whatnot sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to it. Though, moving on to the Ascended Heroes Pikachu. Now, I just want to say that Ascended Heroes has really caused this new change in the way collectibles are perceived. I think Ascended Heroes was a turning point for the Pokemon TCG. And now that I'm looking at it, Prismatic Evolutions was the turning point in 2025 where the popularity grew, okay? That was like where all these new people started entering the hobby. Though Ascended Heroes is where the price premiums grew. With Ascended Heroes, we've entered a new kind of paradigm for collecting, and I don't know. I've gone 2.5 years on this channel by saying, oh, I don't know what's gonna happen. Oh, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, oh, maybe prices are too high. But now I'm kind of thinking like, maybe, have I just not adapted that this is the new way that collectibles are gonna be? Have I just not gotten used to that? It's a big thing I'm kind of questioning right now because I've always tried to give and tell you guys, hey, nah, look, prices will eventually calm down. I've never seen anything like this before. I've been collecting for a while. This is a bit weird. This is a bit strange. But now I'm looking at it like, wait, maybe I've been a bit too cautious and my mind's been a bit worried about the whole thing. And I've never wanted to kind of say, hey, cards going to continue to rise, but how it's going and how it's kind of shifting in pop culture and how collectibles are becoming so big. I don't know, man. I actually think now like maybe we're entering a complete different world for Pokemon cards and collectibles and seeing them as investments. In the last 3 months, we can see the Pikachu was selling for $504. Right now selling for $1,371. That's insane. And it's holding right there. It is holding strong. Ascended Heroes pull rates for specific SIRs are just ridiculous. In a lot of ways, I do understand why they're getting high prices because of how rare they are. But on the same time, it's like far out, man. Like, come on. Like, am I the only person seeing $1,300 for a Pokemon card? It's insane. It is so expensive and it's not graded. A PSA 10 copy, I'd be like, all right, no worries. But yeah, there you go, just for the raw copy. Now, Crown Zenith is going through a bit of a price spike right now, and the gold V-Stars are now climbing. I am on the Arceus VSTAR, and it was selling for $113 earlier this year. Right now, the Arceus is selling for $251. Dude, like a nice price, right? That's going all right. To be honest, I do think that the gold V-Stars from Crown Zenith were so well priced for such a long time. Real talk, man. If you've watched my channel, and a lot of you guys know, one big thing I've said is Crown Zenith, the gold V-Stars. They're illustrated by Akira Gawa, really gorgeous artworks. Right now selling for $251. Honestly, I still think that's not too bad considering what you can see other top chase cards selling for. Moving on to the other top chase card of Crown Zenith, the Giratina VSTAR was selling for $251 in May of this year. Right now selling for just under $400 US. Really expensive, right? But then again, it is a gorgeous artwork. This is one of my favorite artworks from the whole Sword and Shield era. By the way, if you have been enjoying the video, my name's Phil and I make content around Pokemon cards and collectibles. Honestly, it's always amazing seeing all of the new people on the channel. Feel free to subscribe. And again, looking at Akira Gawa artworks, the Charizard from Obsidian Flames was selling for $90 US. Right now selling for $140. Fair bit of growth there. Interesting. I actually think as well, it's taken quite a long time to grow in price. If we look last year, this card was selling for $56. $56 for a top Charizard special illustration rare. Yeah, I mean, that was like pretty good pricing back then. But to be honest, I do think the artwork, I've always kind of said it, I think it was a bit of a miss. Real talk. I'm not the biggest fan of this artwork, and the market reflects it. Usually, we can see that. For a top Charizard chase card to not get high premiums, that's interesting. And I think a lot of it has to do with the artwork, and the whole Terrestrialized phenomenon just didn't click with a lot of collectors. Now, moving on to Team Rockets Mewtwo, was selling for $381 in February this year. Right now, selling for $568. Obviously, the top chase card of Destined Rivals. A lot of people love it. Some people aren't too happy with it. I think Mewtwo as a chase card is good. This is a pretty cool card in my opinion. And moving on to one that has had some pretty serious gains. It is the Darkrai VSTAR from Crown Zenith. Was selling for $50 in May. Right now, after Pitch Black, it is selling for $116. If you do know, we are getting a Mega Darkrai special illustration rare in Pitch Black, which will be the, well, it's going to be the top chase card at this point. But we can see right now that the Darkrai VSTAR has climbed as well. If I pull this into the year graph, you can just see the insane growth of Pokemon cards. Last year, you could have bought this for $31. So yes, a lot of these cards do have quite enormous price rises, but it also depends what's happening in the hobby. It is very interesting to see how prices start climbing depending on what's happening in Pokemon and pretty much just in the market in general. But yeah, I think with the market behaving so euphoric right now, it is leaving a lot of questions about the future of the hobby. Though I think right now, one of the most important aspects is finding undervalued Pokemon cards, and there is a way to do that, and it's seen on this video here. In this video on screen, I go deep into how to find undervalued Pokemon cards in the market. Click that video appearing on screen. Really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next video.